The galaxy was not always silent. Long ago, 4,000 years back, the Council of Worlds had sent a desperate signal into the dark void. Their empires were collapsing under endless wars, plagues, and enemies too powerful for them to fight. The message was simple: we need help, anyone, answer us. But only silence followed. Years became centuries, centuries became millennia, and the plea was forgotten. Aliens whispered legends of a strange species called humans, but to most, they were nothing more than myths. Records spoke of creatures born on a deadly world, a place full of storms, predators, and wars. They were said to be dangerous, unpredictable, and terrifying in battle, yet no proof remained. Civilizations rose and fell, but no human voice was ever heard. Now, after 4,000 years, the galaxy had grown weaker. Empires fought each other, but none had true strength left. Predators from the edges of the stars grew bold. The council met once again in their shining hall, their voices heavy with fear. The Cerethi delegate, a thin, insect-like being, struck the table with trembling arms. 4,000 years ago, we begged for aid. No one came. Our fleets are broken, our colonies burn, and we are alone. There is no savior coming. Others nodded, their scales and feathers dark with despair. The Olarian elder, her eyes dim like dying suns, whispered, "Perhaps we should never have sent the call. Perhaps silence was better than disappointment." The chamber grew quiet. For them, hope was a wound that never healed. But far beyond the council's reach, in the ruins of an ancient listening post hidden inside a dead star, something stirred. A machine older than any empire blinked awake. Its systems had slept for ages, but now a signal reached it. The echo of the council's desperate cry, bouncing back through forgotten relays. The machine processed the words, slow at first, then faster, like a giant waking from a deep dream. Distress call detected. Origin, Galactic Council. Action. Forward to Terran command. Deep in the void, a human relay, silent for millennia, opened its dark eye. A whisper moved across networks thought long dead. One by one, ancient Terran satellites aligned, carrying the forgotten plea into the hidden corners of space. Back in the council chamber, none of the aliens noticed. To them, the humans were a story told to frighten younglings. They believed humanity was gone, burned out long before their time. But legends have roots, and roots run deep. That night, an Olarian archivist studied forbidden records. Her claws trembled as she replayed fragments of the ancient distress message. On one old tablet, she found strange words burned in human script. "We will hear you. Even if the stars grow cold, we will come." She felt a chill. Could it be possible? Could the killers of legend still exist, hidden in the shadows of time? She wanted to tell the council, but fear stopped her. If humans were real, if they answered, would the galaxy be saved or destroyed? Meanwhile, across light years, an old Terran war vault stirred. Cold engines rumbled for the first time in ages. Ships the size of moons shivered awake in their cradles. A voice, calm and mechanical, began to broadcast in a language no alien spoke, but one the stars remembered. Message received. Humanity returns. Back in the council, the Cerethi delegate closed his eyes. 4,000 years. We are still alone, he said. But he was wrong. Something vast was already moving in the dark. Something that had been waiting, silent, patient, and dangerous. The forgotten plea was no longer forgotten. Humanity had heard, and humanity never ignored a call for help. The council thought the galaxy was dying slowly, one empire at a time. They believed the forgotten plea was nothing more than an echo lost in the cold void. But in the dark, something had already begun to move. Inside a starless region known as the Silent Rift, a fortress of metal drifted unseen. It was not alien in design. Its lines were sharp, practical, brutal. This was no palace, no temple. It was a vault, built by human hands in an age when the galaxy trembled at their name. For 4,000 years it had slept, waiting for a signal only humanity could recognize. Now the signal had come. Engines that had not burned in millennia rumbled alive. Massive reactor cores flared, shaking dust from steel older than most living species. Dozens of colossal ships floated free of their docks, their black hulls gleaming like predators rising from the depths. They were not elegant like alien vessels. They were blunt, angular, terrifying. Every bolt and panel spoke of one purpose: war. At the heart of the fortress, a figure stirred from cryosleep. His eyes opened, cold and sharp, reflecting pale light. The man's name was lost to the ages, but his title remained: Terran Commander. His first words echoed through the ship with the weight of iron. "Status report." The ship's AI answered, its voice calm, almost human, but colder. "Council distress call received. 4,000 years late. Directives remain unchanged. Evaluate, respond, secure." The commander stood, his body scarred from battles fought in another age. He looked out at the endless stars. They cried for help, and they forgot us. But we never forget. Far across the galaxy, alien fleets patrolled near the borders of Council space. One such fleet, belonging to the Velari, picked up strange energy readings. Their admiral, a scaled creature with burning yellow eyes, frowned as his sensors crackled. "Unknown drive signature," his officer reported. "It is ancient. We cannot identify." Before they could react, space itself tore apart. A massive shadow emerged, one Terran dreadnought sliding out of the void. Its arrival shattered silence with a deep vibration, like the growl of a monster finally awake. The alien fleet froze. Their ships were fast and curved like birds of prey. The Terran vessel dwarfed them all. The dreadnought did not broadcast threats. It simply existed, and its presence was more terrifying than words. Weapons batteries aligned, glowing faint red, but none fired. A moment later, a voice transmitted across every channel in every language known. "We heard your call. After 4,000 years, humanity returns." The alien admiral's throat dried. This was no legend. This was real. His officer whispered, "Should we fire, Admiral? Should we retreat?" But the admiral shook his head. Firing meant death. Retreat meant weakness, and both felt useless in the face of such power. News spread across the galaxy within hours. In the council chamber, panic broke. Races shouted over each other. Some begged to send welcomes, others screamed warnings. "They will destroy us all," cried a reptilian chancellor. "No, they will save us," argued a feathered delegate. "We must contact them at once," said another. The Ilarian archivist who had seen the ancient tablet spoke in a trembling voice. "You do not understand. Their promise was not kindness. Their promise was a bond. When they return, they will not ask. They will decide." Meanwhile, aboard the Terran dreadnought, the commander stood silent. He watched the alien fleet scatter like frightened birds. His crew, revived humans with pale, hardened faces, took their stations. "Council civilizations," the AI said, "are fragmented and weak. Predators grow bold. Assessment, high probability of collapse without intervention." The commander nodded once. His voice was calm but carried a storm inside it. Then the galaxy must be reminded. The dreadnought turned toward the nearest predator fleet, engines igniting like suns. Space trembled around it as smaller Terran escorts followed. They moved not as rescuers but as hunters awakened. For the Council, it was a day of fear. For the predators who preyed on the weak, it was the beginning of their extinction. For the galaxy itself, it was a warning whispered across every star. Humanity had been silent. Humanity had been forgotten. But silence does not mean death. Silence means waiting. And when the killers wake, no one is ready. The council hall was chaos. Voices clashed, fear spread like fire, and every delegate shouted different words. Some begged to welcome humanity. Others demanded immediate defense, while the oldest among them simply sat in silence, remembering old warnings. The High Speaker raised her trembling arms. "Silence. The Terrans are real. They have returned. We must decide how to face them." Before anyone could answer, the chamber lights flickered. Hollow projectors around the room buzzed to life on their own. The Council's systems had been breached. No alien fleet had ever broken them before. Yet this intrusion was silent, perfect, unstoppable. From the shimmering light, a figure appeared. Not alien, not machine. A man. He stood tall, dressed in simple black armor, without ornament or color. His face was human. Hard eyes, pale scars across his skin, expression calm yet dangerous. The air itself seemed to tighten. For a long moment, none of the delegates spoke. Even the boldest predators of the Council lowered their eyes. Then the hologram spoke, voice calm but heavy as iron. 4,000 years ago you called for aid. We heard you, we answered. You forgot. We did not. The Sarathi delegate, shaking, forced words through dry lips. You are real. Humanity still exists, but what are your intentions? Do you come as allies? Or conquerors? The human tilted his head slightly as if the question itself was amusing. His reply was quiet, but every word cut like a blade.
We come because you asked.
Your words bound us. Do not mistake this for kindness. It is duty. The chamber grew colder. No one dared to interrupt. The Olarian elder, her voice barely a whisper, tried again. Our worlds are burning. Predators hunt us. We beg your protection. The human's eyes narrowed. Protection is earned. You begged once before, and when we answered, you turned away. You feared us more than your enemies. That was your mistake, the council froze. None could deny it. Long ago, when humans had first risen in power, the council had branded them as dangerous, too violent to be trusted. Humanity had been exiled, cast into silence. And yet, even in exile, they had remembered the plea. The hologram shifted, showing the void outside. A Terran dreadnought appeared, colossal beyond measure, surrounded by smaller escorts. Then, another image. An alien predator fleet burning, torn apart in moments by weapons no council race understood. The human's voice returned, calm as before. This was your enemy. It no longer exists. Gasps filled the chamber. That predator fleet had terrorized the borders for decades. Entire council task forces had failed to destroy it. Yet the humans had erased it within hours of their return. The Serethi delegate finally broke, his insect legs rattling against the floor. You destroyed them. Alone, with one fleet. The human did not answer with words. Instead, the hollow shifted again. Across the stars, more Terran warships were awakening. Thousands of them like a storm rising from the deep. At last, the human spoke again. Do not ask what we are. You knew. Do not ask what we want. You already gave it when you called us. We are not saviors. We are not monsters. We are simply human, and that is enough. The hollow began to fade. But before vanishing completely, the commander left one final warning. Remember this, silence does not mean absence. It means waiting, and we have waited long enough. The chamber fell into stunned silence. No delegate moved, no voice dared rise. Every alien heart pounded with the same thought. The killers were back, and the galaxy would never be the same. The council chamber did not sleep. For hours, the alien delegates argued, shouted, and whispered in fear. Humanity's return had shaken the very foundation of their power. Some races wanted to welcome them as saviors. Others feared them as destroyers. But no one could deny the truth. Humans were back, and their strength was beyond imagination. The High Speaker finally raised her voice. If they can crush fleets in moments, then they must defend us all. We must demand their help. But even as she spoke, the chamber lights flickered once more. The human hologram returned. Calm. Silent. Watching. The Terran commander's voice echoed across the hall. You ask for protection. You ask us to fight your battles. But protection is not free. Trust is not free. The galaxy forgot us, but we never forgot you. Now you will be tested. Every delegate leaned forward in fear. A test? What did that mean? The hollow shifted. It revealed a predator armada. Thousands of ships larger and deadlier than anything the Council had ever faced. This fleet belonged to the Koroth, an empire that fed on weaker civilizations, leaving only ashes behind. The Council had fought them for centuries, always losing, always running. Now the Terrans had marked them. The human commander's eyes narrowed. This enemy has burned your colonies. They believe you weak. They believe you unworthy of existence. Watch. In the dark edges of space, a single Terran dreadnought approached the Predator Armada. The aliens of the Council watched through the shared holofeed, their hearts pounding. The Koroth leader laughed across open channels, his voice cruel. One ship? Against my 1,000? You are fools. We will tear you apart and add your bones to our trophies. But the Terran dreadnought did not reply. Silence was its answer. Then, with no warning, the void itself lit up, Terran weapons unleashed. Not beams, not missiles as the Council knew them, but something else entirely. Pure fury of physics unleashed with terrifying precision. Rail cannons fired slugs the size of cities at near light speed. Energy lances cut through shields as if they were mist. In the first minute, 100 Predator ships were gone. The Koroth panicked, screaming orders, unleashing everything they had. Their weapons struck the Terran dreadnought and vanished against shields no one had ever seen before. The dreadnought moved slowly, calmly, like a predator who knew the prey had no chance. 5 minutes later, half the Predator Armada was nothing but burning wreckage. 10 minutes later, silence returned. The entire Armada, thousands of ships, was gone. One Terran dreadnought remained unharmed. The holofeed cut back to the Council chamber. The delegates were frozen, Some trembled, others wept openly. Even the proudest predators of the council lowered their heads in silent terror. The Terran commander looked at them through the hollow, his voice colder than the void. This was your trial. We do not ask for your loyalty. We demand your understanding. Humanity does not fight for glory. Humanity does not fight for empire. Humanity fights because once, long ago, you asked us to. The Olarian elder whispered, almost afraid to speak. You destroyed them. As if they were nothing. Why save us? Why not rule us? The human's eyes softened for the first time, but his tone remained heavy. Because ruling you is meaningless. You are already ruled by fear, by predators, by the silence of your own weakness. We are not your kings. We are not your gods. We are your reminder. The chamber shook with silence. No one dared breathe. The commander leaned forward, his final words like a blade pressed to every throat. Remember what you saw. Remember what you asked. Humanity has awakened, and once awakened, we do not sleep again. The hollow vanished. The council delegates sat in absolute stillness. The trial was over, and in the hearts of every alien, one truth burned brighter than ever. Humanity had returned, and nothing in the galaxy could stand against them. The galaxy did not sleep that night. Every corner of space echoed with whispers of the same truth. The humans are back. Across star systems, predators who once hunted freely now pulled their fleets into hiding. Empires that once ignored the Council's pleas now sent frantic messages, desperate to understand what had returned from the dark. Colonies prayed, rulers trembled, and ancient myths were retold like warnings carved into stone. In the council hall, silence ruled. Delegates sat broken and pale, replaying the memory of the trial of fire. One human warship had erased a predator armada. If one ship could do that, what could an entire Terran fleet do? None dared to imagine. The chamber doors shook. Without request, without invitation, the human hologram returned. The Terran commander appeared again, calm, tall, his presence heavier than any army. No one spoke. Even the boldest predators kept their eyes lowered. Finally, the High Speaker stood. Her voice was weak but steady. Humanity, you have shown us your power. You have reminded us of your wrath. What happens now? The commander studied them in silence. Then he spoke. What happens now? The galaxy changes. You will not like it. You will not stop it. But you will survive because of it. The Serathi delegate, shaking, managed to whisper, Do you mean, rule? Will humanity take the council? The commander's expression hardened. Rule? No. You are too weak to rule. Too divided. Too fragile. Humanity has no need for your thrones or your councils. What we take is something else, order. He lifted a hand. The hollow shifted, showing dozens of Terran fleets rising from hidden vaults across dead worlds. Massive dreadnoughts moved through the void, their engines glowing like suns, their weapons casting shadows across entire systems. Humanity had not been sleeping idly. They had been preparing. You begged once. We answered. You betrayed us. Still we return. Because when predators hunt the weak, humanity does not forget. We never forget. The Olarian elder trembled. Then, you are our saviors. The commander's eyes narrowed, his voice sharp as steel. No, do not call us saviors. Salvation is a gift. We do not give gifts. We give consequences. Protection, yes, but never without cost. A heavy silence filled the chamber. The aliens could feel the weight of every word pressing down on their hearts. Humanity was not here to conquer nor to save. Humanity was here to enforce. The hollow shifted again. This time it showed the ruins of predator worlds burning under Terran fire. The council gasped as they realized humanity had not only destroyed the predator armada, but also struck their homeworlds. In days, the galaxy's greatest threat was gone, wiped from existence. The commander's voice cut through their fear. Your predators are ashes. Your enemies are broken. Your cry has been answered. But understand this, if you betray us again, if you forget again, we will not wait another 4,000 years. The next silence will not be ours. It will be yours. The words hung in the air like a death sentence. At last, the High Speaker bowed her head, something no council leader had ever done before. Then we accept. Humanity has returned, and we will remember. One by one, the delegates lowered their heads, in fear, in awe. In surrender! The galaxy, for the first time in millennia, was united, not by choice, but by the shadow of humanity. The hollow faded. But the Council knew the truth. Humanity was no longer legend. Humanity was no longer silence. Humanity was the storm that would shape every future to come. Far across the stars, aboard his dreadnought, the Terran commander watched the galaxy's messages pour in. Some were cries for help. Some were pleas for mercy. Some were desperate offers of alliance. He turned to his crew, his scarred face unreadable. They called us killers. Perhaps they were right. But now they will also call us guardians. Let them. Both are true. The dreadnought engines roared, shaking the void. Behind it, an armada of Terran warships stretched farther than sight. A tide of steel and fire awakened from the silence of ages. And as they moved, the galaxy itself whispered in terror and in hope. The killers have returned. Humanity has awakened. And the stars will never be the same.